Hey everyone, Soundwave 8084, another Transformers Kingdom review. In this review, take a look at Commander Class Rodimus Prime. Is he worth the increase in price over previous Commander classes Jetfire and Skylinks? He comes in a big, huge, pretty box with some nice artwork there featuring Rodimus Prime. Turn to the side, you get your normal Kingdom art. Turn to the back. 34 steps gets you from all the way around. 8 steps, I guess, added to do other stuff. Whatever. He shows that, like G1, his trailer opens up, and you can have the big gun. It'd be like a battle station. And he comes with Matrix of Leadership, and of course, lots of blast effects. And also, he has a sword and his rifle. So, lots of stuff going on here in the Kingdom Hot Rod. So let's take a Hot Rod. Rodimus Prime. So let's take a look at the figure. Alright, so when you get him out of the box, he actually comes in like 3 sections. You have his trailer, you have his car. I believe this is hanging out loose to his cannon part. Yeah, it is. That you can put inside his trailer. Now, there have been online by his trailer not tabbing, and I have one of those that does not want to stay tabbed. So, I have no idea why it's not. I have a few theories, but I'm not sure. I've seen other reviewers that were theirs, they can push it and it'll stay tabbed. I'm not sure what they're doing that I'm not doing. When he comes in the box, he's actually opened up. These parts here open on the side, but you want to make sure these go outwards when you do that, so they don't get stuck in here. You might break the springs or something. And these parts here are actually held down with the ties. Now, I'm just wondering if the constant pressure in the box of these being pulled has done something here where they are pinned through to where it doesn't want to completely wrap up. I'd have no idea there. So this side here is a little more stiff than the other side here. You get his rifle, which you can store inside on one of these mini pegs. Just make sure you have clearance.
You have clearance, Clarence.
You don't hit this orange piece. It folds up, folds out to be his rifle. Then you have his sword. There we go. This is a little tab here, but that just folds up inside the sword. So then you have that there. There's also these 2 little hooks here, and it can store under the vehicle mode. There's these little hooks here on his legs. You'll just line that up, and you will just hook it onto his legs like so. So that's another way you can store the sword while he's in vehicle mode. This part here can open up. This part here lifts up. It's on these little hinges, which kind of moves. That's kind of cool how they did that. This part here folds out. Now, if this is closed up, you can always just grab it by here, pull it down. Then you can take a deluxe Autobot. Here is Siege Red Alert. And they actually do fit inside the trailer. Unlike Earthrise Optimus Prime, he actually can carry Transformers inside of him that are deluxe class. So, if only Earthrise Optimus Prime's trailer got this kind of love, you know, but then of course you'd have Commander prices and he'd be, you know, $80. So he doesn't tab. So what I'm thinking here is these 2 gray pieces on the side. They have these little catching tabs that catch inside the orange pieces, but the gray pieces here do not sit flush. They are not flush to the piece. I can actually push it down in certain spots, and it will want to force back up. See, I can push it down. See how it moves? I'm just wondering when I tab that in, if it's kind of pushing out, that is pushing against that, getting some pressure. Another thing is, I've unscrewed it, and there are these little red tabs that this actually pushes onto. Then you screw the piece in. I just wonder if this is not sitting flush with the red tab. So I wonder if I shave it down, will it catch better? Or maybe if it just had a better catch here that hooked in here, or another tab, a second tab that could do better. Because these little pieces up here, these are not tabs. They're just slots and these things that just guide into the little gaps. There's nothing there that actually catches. These 2 up here catch. Then it catches on this part back here with the back of the trailer. So that is your tabs. So back part, perfectly fine. Those tabs work. These tabs here do not. Now when you put the big huge cannon inside of this, that one doesn't want to work for me, is this a little tab here, or peg. You'll peg it back here inside of that. Like that. There's a tab here, like a little thing goes in this little notch if you want to tab it inside the trailer. But that actually adds more pressure, like more force, to where it doesn't really want to catch at all, even in the back part. So, yeah. It's a little disappointing. when they did that the way it is, but it's still a nice looking Rodimus Prime trailer. But to transform it, you open it all up. Please open out. This part here, it catches in really good, and I feel like I'm going to break this. That's why some of these things actually kind of scare me a little bit here. This part here untabs. You can bring that down. The cannon can now come up like this. And it has little handles there that you can bring up. And you can rotate at the base. It rotates here at the cannon as well. It has a little blast shield on the sides that can unfold out. So you have a lot of articulation and movement here. The cannon, they spent a lot of time and effort on this cannon piece. This right here also unfolds, and you can bring it down like that if you want to do that. So it is very much like your G1 Rodimus Prime trailer. Pull Rodimus out. It will just open up. I wish the tab, like see how these tabs in the G1 have these little catches? If they just did this the same way, it would work, but they did not. So got some good rubber wheels there. So that is your two cannons, G1 versus Kingdom. Also, the trailer, it does have this compartment underneath this piece. Just pull that out. You can store his smoke effects and the effect that goes on the Matrix of Leadership as if he's opening it up. So those can store inside there. But we're going to take these smoke effects out. They just kind of snap in right around these little grooves. Let me just stick that piece. It just slides right back under. Then you can take these and the little pipes here. You just want to line them up correctly. And just stick them on. And they also work on the actual hot rod mold as well, version of them. So you can have them on that as well if you have them as hot rod. Or you can just stick it onto the Rodimus Prime trailer. Alright, there you go. So you have the smoke effects on the trailer. Then you just take your hot rod part. You can see that there's a little catch. And you see the slots on the sides for the spoiler. You just slide that in. You'll hear it catch in. And there you go. Rolls really good. Now he comes with lots of blast effects. He also comes with lots of blast effects. You got all these goodies here. However, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. But you can take these and the little slots down here in that little tray. You can stick it in like that. So you have them like he's Burn River. So you got blast effects out the wazoo for that. Smoke effects, your Matrix of leadership effect. You have your gun, you have your sword, you have the big ass cannon in the back. My only downside probably in the vehicle mode is the tabbing of the trailer is of course the biggest negative. And just he's really long out of the front. I kind of wish it was a little more short and compact in the front like G1. It's just a lot of windshield going on here, but it's still, in my opinion, in hand, it still looks really good. So G1 with your Kingdom Rodimus, and Kingdom Rodimus next to your Power of the Primes Rodimus Prime. Kingdom is still way bigger than this one. It's just this one makes a big huge robot mode, and it also has a smaller hot rod, a more hot rod-ish hot rod that comes out of this, and this does have an upgrade piece. This piece here does not come with the normal Power of the Primes piece. Alright, so overall the vehicle mode, it's nice to look at. The trailer is the biggest negative here because it does not tab in. I'm probably going to try to shave them down, the gray pieces on the inside, and see if that will allow it to go a little more flush with it. And there could be other problems. I really don't know what's exactly causing that. I know when the big huge guns inside, it does make it harder to actually get a good seal. Now in vehicle mode, just his pieces you see on him added with the sword and rifle, he weighs 1 pound 5 ounces. Skylinks in shuttle mode weighs 1 pound 12 ounces. So that's no blast effects, just the figures and what weapons they have on them. So Skylinks gives you a little more weight, a little more bang, I guess you can say, for your buck. You get 2 modes out of that as well. This you get a big huge trailer, big huge gun, but you get a really nice Rodimus Prime. So let's take a look at the transformation. Alright, so we just want to separate the two. Just pull the car mode out like that. And we've already opened the trailer and pretty much transformed it, so you've already seen how to do that. It's very self-explanatory when you look at it. Now, Rodimus Prime is actually very, very complex for a Transformer who's pretty much Voyager scale in robot mode. There's a lot of stuff going on with this figure, and if some of the tabs on the trailer worked as some of the tabs do on the figure, now the trailer would be an awesome piece. There's some tabs here that you have to tab, and usually most of them include this translucent blue windshield. They're scary. I'm afraid I'm going to break something having to put so much pressure and force to get these things to tab in. So I'll point that out. I also have a little bit there's soft plastic areas, mainly these little tabs here, and then these little front bumper pieces where you could probably easily knock them off, or I feel like you could break them. They're like the cheapest pieces on the actual car mode. Otherwise, this is very, very weighty. Go ahead and transform him. Like I said, he's very complex. First thing I'm gonna do, these little tabs here, these little magenta pieces, they're tabbed in on this little black tab back here. We just want to undo that, and then you'll bring these to the side. Do the other one like that. So this side one here just feels like it's crooked, like it's bent, and like I'm going to break it. So you're supposed to push the little things over these tabs, but it is not tab at all. Just pushes right back out. Alright, so after you fold the flaps, you want to untab the windshield. This is right here. There's two tabs up here. Pull that up. You want to untab the back part here. Pull that up. It's on a hinge here. This is also on a hinge, so you can kind of get that up and out of the way. You want to untab the front of the car from the arms down here. I'll zoom in a little bit so we can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. These actually tab in underneath, and these kind of rest right here. So bring that up like that. Come down to the arms. You want to, they kind of tab in right here against these other pipes, but they don't. It's more of a, they kind of set there. They actually tab into these tabs on the side. Pull his arms down like this. Down to his waist. We want to 180 him at the waist. We want to get the back part of the car out of the way. Bring that down 180. You want to bring this back down. Come here to the front. You want to fold these little tabs in. Be careful. Those are pieces that you can knock off. They just sort of snap right back in there. Bring this down like so. Now you can turn his head 180 so he can now look at you. That right, Rodimus Prime. And you're going to come back up here to his arms. You want to bring them up out of the way, black piece and all. And this right here is a separate spin. So you'll 180 just the arm part around. Not that whole piece there, just the arms. Like that. And you're going to bring them down. You can see this black tab here, a little slot there. You're going to bring them down. And you're going to bring that up, and you're going to then get that to tab in. And it's just a matter of doing it. It's because I'm on camera. You know, when I'm on camera, I can never do these things. So, well, that's the same thing on this side here. Power of editing, I took them away so I actually can see it better, and they just snap in together. And you want to just bring his arms down like this. And you're going to bring this piece up like this. As you do so, there's this black tab right there and this little slot right in there. And you want to get that to line up and to tab the torso together. You kind of want to push this part down when you do that. And as you do that, you're going to do in this piece here is two tabs. These go right in those slots there. But you want to get that down to where it is sort of flush with that. And you're just going to push his body up with it. There we go. Got that in. Now there's this gray tab here, or kind of hook piece, can go right in this windshield. So you just want to be careful. To me, it takes a lot of force to do this, and you don't want to be pushing on the sides here, and you don't want to break this piece. So you want to kind of push here where all that junk is. So you just want to line that up, and you're just going to now sort of push right there. There you go. See, these sound scary to me anyway. You see there's a slot here. You spin this backpack around. These little black tabs. You're going to bring that down. Line that up. And you're going to tab that in then. Like that. So it's now tabbed in, and we'll finish his arms off. You want to just pull down. Back tires here actually open up. There's a tab here, and you see the slot here. The wheels actually push into his arm, and you just close that in. So it's kind of an ingenious way. So then it's now a fixed piece there. So we're going to do that on the side here. Then you want to push this, open it, push it down, stop, drop, and roll. In, tab. Get ready. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Now this right here, also an ingenious way of hiding his hands. Bring this down, and you're going to bring this around. This piece here is actually tapped on top of his hand, so we want to bring that up out of his hand. And you're going to now spin this around like so. A tab will go in the slot here. There's a tab here, will go in the slot back here. So we're going to bring this down, tab that in, bring this in, tab that in. And he got me. He got me. Made me look. Bring this down, around, bring it, open it. Come on, open it. Bring it around. Yeah, so you kind of have his hands that way to the transformation. Tab and tab. And you got the arms done. Now we're going to work down here on the legs. I'm going to untab this off of that, and then you want to open that up. And you're going to just untab his legs from each other. Probably should have done that first. Then you bring his legs down all the way. And going to push his wheels in. They're on a little slider here. And you can see this little hole here. That's where the little groove, you're going to collapse that in. It is a tight fit, so you got to kind of move. There's clearance issues here. Push that in. And you're going to the tab here. You're going to bring this around, and it's going to hook on the tab on the bottom, like that. And then you just want to bring his foot to the front. So untab that. So you can open that piece here, bring this all the way down like that. Push in the wheel, fold it in, get that in there, bring this down and around, tie that in, open up his foot. You have now transformed Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime into his robot mode. Alright, Rodimus Prime in robot mode. It is a beautiful looking robot. His hands are also sort of masterpiece style. You actually have to bring this finger out. That finger is on its own set of pins and hinges. And the other three are all together, so you can collapse those down as one. Or you can keep that one out so you can point at Galvatron. Tell him it's the end of the road. So bring that finger out too. There we go. The matrix of leadership is actually just inside of here. And you can remove it. Maybe. Might need a tool to get this piece out. I'm a tool. There we go. Use the sword. Sword of Omens. And then you can take that other blast effect. And all you do is just pin that around the matrix. Like that. And his fingers can open and close just like the Studio Series Hot Rod. You can have him hold this, but he does have some jumbo feet and jumbo hands. So it'll take a little finagling to get it. Rodimus Prime. Optimus. Also hold his weapon. You can see right here, we just want to slide that in like a peg. And then you just close his hands around it. Holds it pretty good. Okay, holds it exceptionally good. I'll say pretty good when he, you can bang him around like he's hitting the headboard. All right, and you can put blast effects on here. Let's see, let's put a little bit more of explosive effects and see how well he can hold it up. Pretty good with those, because he doesn't have any ratchets, so there's not really the catch there. So it probably just depends on how you have him pointed and how it holds up. And of course, the smoke effects you can put on the Hot Rod car. You can also now put those on him here in robot mode. And it's not really blast effects, but if you have any blast effects of that color, you have like he's shooting out of that. Let's see if we can get any of these smaller ones, because these do have little holes here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get on there because there's not much room right there, because they're so close together. You can't really, and this is so thick around the edges, it doesn't really want to go. And of course, the sword, it'll be holding it the same way as if it's his gun, so we'll put that in his hand. And close his fingers around it. So now he has his weapons. Articulation on Rodimus Prime. You got sort of like a double knee. You got a knee there, and you can do the knee back here as well. You have ankle tilts. He has an upper swivel here at the hip. These things move out of the way so you can get some split movement going. These here move forward with him. You know, forward a little bit back, but just have a slight backpack. So you don't get the full 360 of the rotation. He just kind of hits there and there. Head, you got an awesome up. Not much of a down, but you can 360 his head all the way around. So he's got some good movement there if you get him posed and stuff. On his arms, again, he's double jointed. You can got two elbow bends, double joint elbows, bring it up all the way around like that, so you can carry things on his shoulder like so. Bring his arms up to there, hits his head. You can 360. It's kind of hard because he does have a spoiler back there. So maybe if he wasn't holding his big ass gun, he could. Let's see. Can't 360 his arms around because his back spoiler is in the way. You got your swivel at the elbow, but again, it's got a lot of stuff going on with the pipe, so it kind of prevents him from going all the way around. Just have a wrist swivel, so you can 360 that. And of course, we've seen that all his fingers do move. So we do have some articulation here, pretty good amount. And Rodimus Prime in robot mode weighs 5.8 ounces, which is actually more than the Blue Streak Masterpiece I weighed. He's only 4.9 ounces. So he's heftier than a Masterpiece Carbot, at least of the Datsuns. So that gives you, if he's 80 bucks, you're getting a lot more than you probably got with the original Masterpiece Blue Streak. Alright, let's do some height comparisons. Rodimus Prime with Netflix Optimus Prime, pretty much exactly the same height. Prime might have a slight advantage on him, but Rodimus Prime just looks like he's a more solid Transformer than Optimus Prime. Next to G1, Rodimus Prime, again, about exactly the same height. Just Kingdom Rodimus just looks so awesome. Next to Kingdom Galvatron. Galvatron, of course, is bigger. He's also wider. He's just a more round, bulkier bot. Yes, I have the one with the wrong kind of shoulders. It doesn't bother me that much. I know I haven't even reviewed Galvatron. I've had him for a long time already. Galvatron also weighs more. Weighs almost, I think, about 3 ounces more than Rodimus Prime. And he is just a leader class, but he's bulky. But Rodimus Prime, of course, comes with that big-ass trailer. And next to Kingdom Ultra Magnus. And this is the Autobot leadership duo of Season 3. And I think they look very good together. Now in robot mode, I love the design, the mass, the heft of the figure. His face is very aged. I would say in person it actually looks better than it does on camera. My only complaint here would probably be the dead eye effect. He's got nicely painted blue eyes in there. It's really hard for them to shine through over because the top of the head comes so far over them. It just creates a shadow over the eyes. Hey, what are you doing? Move your hand, dude. Yeah, you get a little extra movement there too in the wrist. I think I didn't go over that in articulation. He's got lots of articulation, but he is very expressive in robot mode. Looks excellent. I do like it a lot. He's probably so far one of my favorite Kingdom figures. He's just, I know people hate on Rodimus and Hot Rod, but just as a cool looking figure, he actually pulls it off and looks really good. And people say mini masterpiece. Yeah, this guy, he's got it going on in robot mode. The trailer, while it is nice, they spent some time on it, just the overall effect of it closing is a letdown, but the trailer itself is a lot better than what we got with Optimus Prime and Earthrise in the early release of Kingdom. If Is he worth 85 bucks? That is totally up to your own opinion. I want to say no, just because it's so expensive. But comparing it to past Masterpiece Transformers, just say the Carbots, they originally came out at about what, 70 bucks, 69.99, or even to like Sunstreaker, who was around $100, I believe, 109, something like that. And he had some accessories like Chip Chase. He had the alien mask, and he had his weapons. I think you get more out of this than you do out of that. Just for the fact that this looks awesome. It really doesn't have any hollow bits in robot mode. Everything folds up nicely. It has a very intricate and complex transformation for a regular mainline Transformer. Comes with a big, huge trailer with big, huge cannon. Comes with a gun, a sword, blast effects, smoke effects, which is stuff that the current Masterpiece figures come with. He has a decent enough heft for his size, comparable to a Masterpiece Transformer of his size, say like a Carbot. He actually weighs more than the MP Dotsons do. So I would say it really just depends on what you're wanting to go for. I do say, comparing it to that, he is worth the money. Comparing it to regular Chugs or Generation Line Transformers, it could be a toss-up. So you get a lot of bang for your buck out of this. And there is some disappointment, and that's mainly to do with the closing of the trailer. But other than that one thing, everything else is awesome. Anyway, thanks for watching this review. Until the next ones, peace out.